Welcome to the fourth of our Lenten reflections. We continue our series of meditations based upon 6 scriptural images taken from the readings from each of the Sundays of Lent. Allow me to review these images with you. On the first week, we used the double image of desert and wilderness. On the second, we went up to the top of the mountain. On the third, we discovered the difference between water from the well and water from the fountain. Today, we will use a double theme of light and sight, darkness and blindness. On the fifth week, we will look at the grave, and on the sixth and final week, we will look at the cross. And so today, that double image of light, sight, darkness, blindness. I'd like to start simply by a pre-biblical analysis of our own experience of reality that we come to in 2 ways, physical and mental, with the physical eye and with the mind. And the two are connected. It is through what we see with the eye that the mind is able to abstract thoughts and proceed to judgments. But both the eye and the mind must be open to reality. The eye has to be open to the light and the mind to the truth if it is going to be able to come to the reality as it really is. Now, in our first reading from this day's lessons, this Sunday's lessons, we have an interesting reading from the book of Samuel. The Lord said to Samuel, I am sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem, for I have chosen my king from among his sons. As Jesse and his sons came to the sacrifice, Samuel looked at Eliab and thought, surely the Lord's anointed is here before him. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not judge from his appearance or from his lofty stature, because I have rejected him. Not as man sees does God see, because man sees the appearance, but the Lord looks into the heart. God's way of seeing things is from the inside out, from cause to effect. We see from the outside in, from effect to cause. And so our way is inferior to that of God. It can be corrected, however, in a couple of ways. We believe that eventually God will help us participate in his way of knowing from the inside out, from cause to effect, when we come to the beatific vision. In the meantime, God can proceed in another way through a process of revealing or manifesting what he knows to us, first in nature and then in history. As we look at nature, we can indeed proceed by a process of induction from what is caused to the ultimate cause, which has to be one, and that we call God. But God can also proceed in history as he has done, first of all, with the Jewish people, who come to know God by the mighty deeds and the words of God spoken to them, that not only confirm what should be known from nature, but go even further, helping us to understand better who God is and what his plan might be for us. However, even that manifestation is incomplete. More could be known about God, who God is, and who we can be in relation to God. And so Jesus comes on the scene. He says more, he does more, because we eventually discover that he is more than he seems to be. He is the Word made flesh. He is light from light. And so he can manifest the truth, the fullness of the truth, to those who are willing to perceive, to listen, and to look. Strangely, there was a double reaction to him. First, a negative one from the leaders of the Jewish people who thought they had all the answers and therefore were closed to any further truth. But there were others, like the man that we find in the gospel today, the man born blind, who was first gifted with physical sight so that he can see Jesus with his eyes. But notice that he also begins to see him with his mind. And there's an evolution in his discovery of Jesus. He calls him first that man Jesus, and then the prophet, then Son of Man or Messiah, and finally, Lord. The man born blind is someone with whom the catechumens, once again, can identify very strongly, for they are going through the same process of discovery, willing to admit their lack of understanding and willing to know more. They have been taking step after step a look at Jesus, not just with eyes, but with their minds, open to more and more of the truth that can enrich their lives. But we too, already baptized and initiated, we need every year to rediscover the fullness of the truth. For there is a tendency in all of us to settle for less than the full truth and nothing but the truth. We seek today then to encourage the catechumens who are so honest, and to be encouraged ourselves in this pursuit of the truth. Thank you for your attention.